All right, welcome back. We're hitting the query segment and quite a few of you have sent your queries in. Just a quick reminder, if you were sending a query on WhatsApp, do tell us your name as well as the time period that you would like to hold this stock if you're a long-term investor or if you're looking to trade. And also do restrict your query to just one stock per person. Aarti Ahuja wants to know about Dilip Buildcon, and this is a question for you, Kunal. She's holding 200. She's wondering whether to sell. She's not given us her buy price. Guys, please tell us what you bought the stock for as well. And she's asking you to give her an answer on this.
Just to hold on to Dilip Buildcon. So I agree that the stock in last 1 month has corrected. I think if I'm not wrong, it's corrected from 750 towards 600, 595, where the stock is currently trading right now. But then there are two parts to this correction. One was the previous rally where the stock had rallied from 500 to 750 levels. That was on the back of huge chunk of volumes for Dilip Buildcon. And then the correction which has happened from those 750 levels towards 590, 600. This is on the back of very, very low volumes relatively, which means that long players are the ones who have bought the stock. They are the ones which are still holding on to this stock, and they've not exited. The stock is still above its 50 in 200 moving average. So price wise, volume wise, as well as indicator wise, I don't see any reason why, assumingly even if you bought at higher levels, then you should look to exit at current levels. I would suggest a hold, and expecting over the next 3 to 6 months the stock to come back towards 700, 750 mark.
Right. I have a couple of technical questions, but I'll take a funda one first. And this one is from Chaitanya, and he wants to know, is this the time to gradually shift from HDFC Bank to ICICI Bank completely after seeing the growth delivered in the past many quarters for the longer term? What's your take, Saurabh? Does it make sense to move out of HDFC Bank completely and shift focus now to ICICI Bank? We've seen the stellar performance coming in from ICICI Bank. Even the asset quality has improved quite a bit. So what should one do? I'm sure this is on many of our viewers' mind for sure.
HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank are both good, but the consistency, the consistent performance by the ICICI Bank has surprised the market remarkably. In the last few quarters, they have moved up their net interest margin. They have the asset quality has improved a lot. They have well provisioned, and the credit book is also growing at a higher than the industry average. And there is a good amount of valuation gap between the HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank. In my sense, you are absolutely right. It makes all the more sense to shift money from the HDFC Bank to ICICI Bank. I think more money can be made by switching the stock.
Okay. Gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to keep your answers a little shorter because the messages are absolutely flooding in. The next one's for you, Kunal. This is from Chandan Jain from Hubli, Karnataka. Ashok Leyland bought at levels of 124, wondering whether to hold for levels of 170. He's got 500 shares. Should he hold?
I think you should hold. In fact, it was one of my recommendations as well at the 125 mark for Ashok Leyland, and given a target of 160 plus for the stock. It's at 152 currently. I would suggest a hold.
Okay, this one from Shanmuga Sundaram, and this one is for you, Kunal. Bombay Burma, he's saying it's straight. He's bought about 50 shares at 1,200 rupees per share. Can I average it now is what he's asking. Bombay Burma is a stock.
Even though the stock is at 1,700 plus levels, nearing its, I think, 2 years or 3 years of high for itself. But when you look at it over the span of the last 10 years, it's forming a rounding bottom pattern, and these are very, very strong and typical patterns which gets formed for stocks. So I think purely on the back of this 10 years of chart patterns for Bombay Burma, I would suggest a hold, and in fact at current levels as well, would suggest even an averaging.
Okay, Sunil from Punjab is asking about Adani Ports, bought at levels of 780. He's got a 1 year time frame, Kunal, and he's asking this question to you. Should he hold on?
Well, I believe that the majority of the pain for Adani group of stocks seems to be getting over. Volume activities started to increase for the stocks. Adani Ports, Adani Enterprise, Adani Total Gas, etc. When you look at the charts for many of these names, there seems to be some incremental increase in volumes for these stocks, which means that it's possible that the correction these stocks have been going through since the last 4-5 months, I think seems to be getting over, or just about on the verge of getting over. So I believe purely on that aspect, I would suggest a hold on Adani Ports. And as it is said, the stock has also come back towards its 200-day moving average. That also makes it as a good entry point for someone who's looking to buy the stock as well.
This one is from Rajendra Gandhi, and this one is for you, Saurabh. He wants a view on HEG. He says that today is HEG's results, but what's your opinion on this particular counter? I'm unsure if Rajendra is already invested. He's looking to invest in this particular counter. Nevertheless, how does HEG look?
The fortunes of the company is connected with the steel sector revival, and there is a good amount of revival, and the lot of expansion plans are being discussed by various industry players. So from the long-term perspective, I think HEG can be a good investment.
Okay, so I just want to point out to everyone watching, please try to not ask us about micro cap stocks that are high beta in nature, and sometimes, I mean, I hesitate to call them, but that they are what they are penny stocks, so avoid asking about them. Rita is asking about Unitech, and I want to come to you on the fundamentals. There has to be a better pick in the real estate space. Which would you pick?
I think in the real estate sector, if you want to bet, I think it's a good structural story going on, and I think it will stay for some years. So I would suggest DLF from the north side, or maybe a south player, Prestige Estate. You can invest in both of these stocks either equally, and you'll surely make money if you invest for more than a year.
All right, this next query that we've got is from Sapna, and I kind of have lost her feed, but as far as I know, the Sapna wanted to know about Titan. She's purchased Titan at around 1,650 rupees, so she wants to know whether she should continue to hold on to it for the longer term. Saurabh, any guesses on this one? Should one actually stay put with the Titan for the longer term?
I think the results clearly surprised the street, and the amount of growth they have witnessed in the jewelry and the other businesses was phenomenal. And I think Titan would put up a good story, a good show ahead also, because of the festive season and the marriage season and all. I think it will prove to be a good investment. I would suggest to continue to hold Titan.
I believe that we've got Puneet Miglani, who's got Trident, Kunal, at levels of 40, and his target is 45, not too far away from his buy price. Would you suggest that he hold on for that target?
Just to hold on, but then I think it's a bit of a risky trade over here, because on the monthly charts, for example, the RSI for Trident is 90 plus, and these are extremely overbought territories of RSIs. Risk reward is not in favor to try and initiate fresh longs over here. So you may go right on the stock, but then if you're playing for a 5 rupee risk, 5 rupee reward over here, then the stop loss for the trade could be as much as maybe 7 rupees or 8 rupees, and these are not favorable kind of trading opportunities which you should be looking at. So the stock looks attractive. It's in a good zone in terms of momentum, but the momentum seems to be very, very overbought from a monthly time scale. So just about I would advise to have a bit of a caution over here. Yes, if you can buy it on dips, and assuming the stock comes back to say 30-35 levels, then it could probably come back to a much more better risk reward play.
All right, Saurabh, this one is for you, and Costa wants a view on PI Industries. He's looking to buy this particular counter at current market price for the longer term. Can he look to buy it at current market price for longer term? And how does PI Industries actually look as an investment?
I think it is a good story, but at the same time, the valuations are quite asking, and there may be a margin compression in this quarter and going forward also. So I would not suggest putting fresh money in the PI industry. Rather, I would suggest to invest money in the real estate, banking, or capital goods sector. In the banking, you can invest in SBI, ICICI. In the capital goods sector, you can invest in the Bharat Forge or Larsen & Toubro. In the real estate, you can invest in the DLF or Prestige Estate kind of companies.
Okay. Shekhar is asking about a couple of stocks. I'm going to take it to you, Kunal. He's got UPL as well as Agis Logistics. UPL bought at levels of 745, Agis Logistics bought at levels of 245. As an exception, I'm going to take this because he's asked several times and I'm not taking this query. Should he hold on to both of these?
Well, I would suggest to hold on to both of them. UPL I'm very bullish upon, and I've indicated this quite a few times on the channel as well. I think it looks attractive for a breakout above 800, 850 mark. That's what I believe could be a near-term to medium-term target for UPL. Aegis Logistics, I think the beauty about the stock or the price pattern is the way the stock has corrected and come back towards extremely oversold territories. The only question with charts for Aegis Logistics is that I would sense the stock may take some bit of more time, maybe another couple of months, to try and consolidate at the current levels of 200, 210 mark. So I think if time is not a concern for you, I believe Aegis Logistics could also turn out to be a good risk-reward play. But I think UPL is a much more better bet, and I think the stock is also in the back of or in the thick of strong momentum as well.
Alright, this next query that we have, I will take Dikshita's query first up, is because I know that she had written to us about this query yesterday as well, and she wants to know about Wipro. Can Wipro stock be added, like buy on dips at current levels, and what is the support level for Wipro? Kunal, what's your take on Wipro? Can Dikshita look to buy at current levels, and what sort of support level should she look at for Wipro?
No, I've indicated quite a few times that Wipro has been one of my favorite stocks from the large cap IT names, and I still hold that view. I think it's a classic buy on dips opportunity for Wipro. The stock made a high of 735, 740 odd, I think last month. Now it's at 660 levels. So a 10% correction should be a good starting point for investors who are looking to buy the stock, and keep on adding at every 5% or 7% further downtick into the stock prices if you get an opportunity in stocks like Wipro. So I would suggest to hold on to the stock and look to average further if you've bought at higher levels.
Okay, Saurabh, I'm hoping that you have coverage on this. JTEKT India is the name of the counter, currently trading at 103 or thereabouts. We've got Sanjeev Jain from Mizoram who's asking about this. He's bought at levels of 108 and he's got 50,000 shares. Should he hold on?
No coverage on this stock, please.
Okay, alternatively then, considering that he's holding at very close to the market price, would you suggest a good auto anch company that he can invest in?
In auto, I would suggest some auto ancillary company like Minda Industry or Minda Auto.
Alright, next one is coming in from Magesh, and he's holding about 170 shares of Nazara Tech at an average price of 2,700 rupees per share. What is the view on the short and medium term? Should I hold or sell? Kunal, I believe that no doubt Nazara Tech is a recently listed company, but you do track Nazara Tech closely. So do you have a view on this one? What should Magesh do with his holding, sell or hold? And average buy price is 2,700.
Well, absolutely. So I do track the stock, and I think I recommended this in early September when the stock was at 1700, 1800 point, 1800 kind of a zone. I think it's a classical stock in the making. The stock patterns have been very intriguing, very positive for the stock over the near term, and it shows those. It's shown those classical patterns of rally, and then whenever there is a rally or a trend in the making, the prices go into a very strong vicious uptrend, and then you see accumulation of volumes happening for Nazara. Right now, I think the stock is getting into a corrective phase, and I think one of the reasons why I would sense that is because the stock has come back into the ASM group or in the trade to trade series. So I think that could be one of the reasons why you're seeing a lack of volume activity and then a drop in volume. So once the stock comes out of this trade to trade series, I believe that there should be pickup of price action and volumes both for Nazara. So I would suggest that it's a good stock. You can look to hold on, provided your view is long term.
Kunal, quick view on Deepak Nitrite. Sanjay from Kolkata has bought 222 shares at levels of 2,670. He's got a positional view on this for 6 months. Should he hold on?
I think you should hold on, and 2280 I think could be a level, assuming if the stock comes to that level, say in the next round of correction for the markets, that could be a good level for you to average.
All right, this one is coming in from Emmanuel and he wants view on Sudarshan Chemical. He's holding about 150 shares at 668 rupees per share. Should I hold or sell? Or he's looking for, he's saying that he can hold for the next 1 year. What's your take on this one, Kunal? Sudarshan Chemical.
Well, again, interesting chart. The indicators are extremely oversold. Stock is marginally below the 200-day moving averages. So it seems that the mean reversion, the retracement process is just about getting over for Sudarshan Chemicals. So it's a good risk reward play. You can look to buy at current levels, provided, as you said, that your time frame is at least 1 year or more than that.
Okay, it's time to hit the rapid fire segment, gentlemen, and we've got quite a few queries, so let's try and answer as many of them as possible. L&T Financial Holdings at the current levels, Kunal, would you suggest entering for the next 3 to 5 months?
I think you should look to buy only if the stock breaks past about 95 mark. It's a stock which fails its resistances quite a few times. So 95 plus is where I would suggest a buy.
This one is from Piraya and he's saying that can we buy 1,000 shares of IRCTC now for the longer term? What's your take, Saurabh?
Negative. I would suggest no.
Cartrade got allocation in the IPO allotted at levels of 1600. This is Venkata Ramana. Saurabh, would you suggest that he should hold on?
I would suggest to better exit this new age businesses.
All right, Vignan and Shailaja, both of them have a query on Varun Beverages. Shailaja is asking, can I buy it for the shorter term? And Vignan wants to know what's the buying price for Varun Beverages. What's your take, Kunal?
I would suggest not to buy at current levels. The recent rally was just a moderation from the oversold indicators. I believe the stock should come back towards 900 points. So if you're looking to buy, that could actually turn out to be a better entry point for Varun Beverages.
Larsen and Toubro, Kunal, for the short term, the question is from Prasant. Would you suggest a fresh entry?
I think yes, at current levels, you can look to buy the stock. It's a stock which doesn't go into stronger periods of correction and more periods of uptrend for itself. So seems to be a good buy point for L&T at current levels.
This one is from Tony Anthony. View on PSP projects for the longer term. Already is holding 150 shares at 502 rupees per share. What's your take, Saurabh? Do you cover PSP projects?
I think it is a good play in the infrastructure basket. I would suggest a hold.
Okay, gentlemen, and in fact, all our viewers who've tuned in were completely out of time on this particular segment, and we've taken as many queries as we possibly could. Gentlemen, thank you so much once again for joining in and for being so accommodative. We have to slip into a short break at this moment, but we'll be back with more, so do stay tuned.